Hello and welcome to my first unboxing video. I never thought I'd be doing one of these, but it was kind of inevitable, I guess, and I figured I would try at least one and then see how you guys like it. Note that this video is completely unscripted, so please forgive me if I have to search for my words a little bit more than normal. So I got this in the post today, and I peeked a little bit inside, and it turned out to be the Ortek battle cruiser that I bought recently. It's still completely new in box. This is just an IKEA box surrounding it to ship it in. So we're gonna open it and see what's inside. I'm really quite curious. So let's first get rid of this. Right, there you go. Let's get rid of this first. Nice. In some cellophane, which I can only imagine is not the original because it's taped to it. Yeah, let's get rid of it as well. I'm obviously not very experienced with this kind of video, so forgive me, it's not quite as polished as most of my other videos would be, I guess. I'm going to try and keep everything in frame as much as I can, but it's difficult to get enough into frame that you can see my entire room, basically. Love utility knives, by the way. Big fan. Right. Wow, that looks so pristine. The box is only a little bit dented here on the corners, but apart from that, it looks very nice. Ooh, 12 function keys on the left, 24 programmable keys. It's actually got 48 F keys, this keyboard, which I think might be a record. I know half of them are programmable, but still. What else does it say? Successful DP requires more than conventional keyboards. What? Okay. High reliability Japan Alps key switch. Oh, that's interesting. So they actually advertise with Alps key switches, which I guess means that this shouldn't have clones in it. Okay, that's pretty interesting. And 8K memory backup with battery. And here it says fast repeat, selection modes and display. Yeah, that's a bit weird. The way you toggle between display or whatever that does and macros is really, really weird. It's not the easiest programmable function keys on this keyboard, but it is a very nice keyboard. I've already reviewed it a while ago, by the way. What else does it say? Let's see, can you see this? Yeah. 12 function keys on the left, 24 programmable keys, selection modes and display, fast repeat. So basically what's on the other side as well. Nice. Here it's got the model number, MCK-142Pro, and a serial number, made in Taiwan. Made in Taiwan. Interesting. And this doesn't have anything new on it. Right, so let's open this box then. That's a styrofoam. Lots of styrofoam. Okay, open please. Ooh, oh, what was that? Oh, look at that! It's got a floppy disk here. MCK-142Pro. Geplagte Datenarbeiter brauchen mehr als eine konventionelle Tastatur. So, is this a German version then? I don't know. I didn't think it was a German one. Programmable function keys utility software. That's interesting because this keyboard doesn't actually need external software in order to program it. It works fine on its own, which I've always maintained is a big plus. So that's interesting that they still had some software to do it with. Maybe it was for some extended functionality or something. Let's see what's in here. Let's just have a look through this. What appears to be a manual. In fact, I think I might have a PDF of this manual. Let's see. I might actually look through my keyboard manuals to see if it's the same. It doesn't look like I've got it ready with me. Maybe it's in the other box, the box of the other Ortek keyboard. We'll see in a bit. Anyway, let's see what's in here. Klasse B Datenverarbeitungsgeräte. Yeah, it really looks like this is a German version. Yeah, exactly. Even the last page is German. Oh, that's interesting. Batteriebetrieb. Upload. Die programmierbaren PF-Funktion-Tasten. Oh my god, German's such an interesting language. Right, I'll have a look through this in more detail later. I'll just set this aside. Now, let's open the box. And yes, it is a German version. For those who don't know, I can tell by the QWERTY layout here. Normally it goes QWERTY, obviously. Man, it looks so pristine. I always love it when you get to open something as old as this, and then it's still completely new. I love new old stock things, especially new in box. That cable's got a little bit of styrofoam deposits on it. It's the plasticizers in the cable that slightly dissolve the styrofoam. That's what usually happens. If cables are pressed into styrofoam for a very long time, then that usually happens. Alright. See? Oh, you can see a lot of styrofoam deposits here. It's not the end of the world. It's got the template as well. Here you can write your programmable function things on. That's nice. Ortek Technology. Oh, sticker doesn't completely fit. Ortek Technology Inc. Serial number. Is that the same serial numbers on the box? Let me have a quick look. Yeah, it is the same. Well, I thought it was different. Right. Oh, nice. Does it come with the batteries? No, it doesn't come with the batteries by default. Which is probably for the best, because otherwise they would have definitely leaked by now. Oh, sorry, just hit the mic for a sec there. Right. Let's get rid of some styrofoam crap. Nice. Oh, interesting. It doesn't have a 5-pin DIN connector. It's got a PS2 one. A late one too, a coloured one. The oldest PS2 connectors were not coloured. Apparently this happened at some point. Keyboard has a little bit of a spot on it here, and some here. I don't know what that is. No bleeding idea. Whatever, I'll clean that out later. Let's first see what key switches this has. I'll just get a key puller. There you go. It is Alps, but it looks like simplified Alps here, not complicated. And judging by the mold imprints on the top. Also, it doesn't have double shots. It's got thin pad printed caps. Is that because it's a German layout? Does it have any double shots on it? No, this all looks silk screened, including the colored ones. Interesting. So I guess this is a rather late model of 142Pro. Right, let's try some typing on it. Maybe I'll even connect it to my computer. See if it works. Already using one of my converters, I think. So let's just go for a cheap PS2 converter, which should still work. Because it's always better when you've got 3 keyboards and 2 keypads plugged in. Yeah. Right. Setting up device. Don't see any lock lights yet. There you go. Okay. I had it off actually. Lock light. Alright, let's try some. Nice. Cool. Like brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Yeah, that all seems to register. Let's see if the other keys register as well. Yeah, that works fine. Those work fine. Those. Yeah. Escape. Caps lock. Shift control space. All seems to. Yeah, the sense stack kind of goes as well. All seems to work fine, actually. Yeah, every single key on this keyboard works. Okay, so my camera stopped recording. It tends to do that after very long recording scenes, but anyway, I think I remember how to program it now as well. You press this twice, then the key you want to test, like PF1, input, let's say INPUT, and then press that twice again, yeah, and then it should, yeah, it works perfectly. It outputs input. So yeah, the keyboard seems to be completely functional. I also had the time to look at my manual. It's in the box with the other Ortek, which I'm going to show in a second. And yeah, this printed PDF version does very much look like this manual. Oh, this one's a bit discolored for some reason. I think it's... yeah, it looks a little bit different, actually. Yeah, it looks a little bit different. It's not exactly the same version. But then again, this appears to be a quite late version, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a later version of the manual. Could well be. Right, so now I'm going to compare it to my other Ortek, which, like I said, is an older model. And also a very well used one. In fact, this one was someone's daily driver for 15 years, and the keyboard felt so bad that I linearized the switches because they were just too scratchy. As you can see, this one comes with the old 5-pin DIN connector and a coiled cable. Yeah, that one also has a coiled cable actually, but still. Right. And as you could tell, it's linear, not clicky. Also sounds a lot deeper, which is typical for genuine complicated Alps switches compared to the simplified ones. It's never quite the same. The layout is also different. This one is a British layout, and that one's obviously German. But as you can see, this one has really, really yellowed. Yeah, just glancing at the camera confirms my suspicion. You can still tell that it is really, really yellowed, especially this sticker, which has gone completely brown. The template, however, appears to have not. It's practically the same color. So, yeah, there seems to be a non-yellowing type of plastic. Interesting. Makes sense, though. But yeah, so, very nice thing, actually. It's a bit of a shame that it comes with simplified Alps rather than complicated ones. But I guess if I wanted to, I could always put different switches into it. At the very least, it's very nice to have such a new, old stock, fantastic keyboard. It's really, really workable. It's a massive workhorse, this keyboard. It's so nice to have 24 function keys that you can program with macros and whatnot, and the layout is pretty good as well, although I do think that a star nav like this with diagonal arrow keys and the normal arrow keys in a cross pattern is not as nice to use as a T nav, you know, where you have an inverted T shape. Apart from that, this is a really nice layout though. It's a standard ISO, pretty much, some extra function keys here, never hurts. Yeah, very nice, very nice. I'm very happy with that. So let's go and have a look through the manual as well before we end this video, just to see if we can find anything interesting in here. Let's see, yeah, this should be at a visible angle for you guys, although it's going to be difficult for you to really, really read it as well, but at least you can see the pictures. Of course, everything is in German. Now, I can read German, it's not too difficult. But it's going to be very hard to not make fun of German language in the meantime. Anyway, let's see. Das Schreibmaschinentastenfeld der MCK. No, fuck, I'm not going to bother with that. Okay. The Schreibmaschinentasten. It says, thanks to the Japanese Alps switches, the keys have a lifetime of more than 20 million cycles. So I'm not sure that's true for simplified Alps. Complicated Alps have a lifetime of 20 million cycles, but I think simplified Alps might be 10 million. I'm not completely sure. Maybe the manual's not up to date anymore or something, but that's interesting to keep in mind. Also interesting to keep in mind, simplified Alps switches are not made in Japan. They're made in China. At some point, I'm not quite sure whether this was when they simplified the Alps or when they changed from pine to bamboo, but at some point they moved the production to China from Japan, and according to people that used the keyboards back in the day, apparently the switches were never the same. So, yeah. And that makes sense because both bamboo and simplified Alps are simply not as good as the old complicated ones. Right. Numpad function keys. And the PF keys. This also shows, I guess, how the DOS program works. But, well, like I said, you don't actually need the software. It's usable, I guess, but you don't need it. Upload, download. Is this just 3 times the same picture? I don't know. Maybe slightly different. Disk. Where you plug it in, I guess. Again, this shows a 5-pin DIN socket, which the older one has, but the newer one doesn't. It's a PS2 one. So yeah, this manual is definitely outdated. Shows the poles and what they do and stuff, but yeah, this manual is definitely outdated. That's interesting. Oh, look at that! It's got some dates on Alps switches. Again, I guess that's complicated Alps then. 70 grams plus or minus 25 grams of force. That's a huge margin. Jesus. Tastenoberfläche. ABS Kunststoff Spritzguss. That means ABS plastic injection, doppelte Beschriftung, double inscription. I'm not sure whether this means double shot injection molding. I don't think it does. I know what it is in German, but it's a little bit different from this, so don't think so. Auf Wunsch auch in Polyester Spritzguss. Oh, so you could also get it in polyester instead. Polyester injection. Very strange. I'll have to look into that. I'm not quite sure what that means. Compatible with XT, 80, 386, 486. It makes sense. It's a 80XT keyboard. Wait, except it's not, because it's PS2 and it didn't include an adapter. So it's actually not 80XT, I guess. Blah, blah, blah. Anything here? Well, it's got a little force curve. Very, very steep drop off. As you might be able to see, very steep drop off in the force curve. I mean, normally white Alps are really quite tactile, so I'm not too surprised. But these ones, yeah, they're a little bit bulkier than normal white Alps actually. Anyway, so yeah, again, 5-pin DIN cable. It's definitely different. I wonder if this telephone number for the customer service still exists. Interesting. Very nice. Quite interesting stuff. So, I guess that was it for my first unboxing video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe there will be more in the future, depending on if I can get other genuinely new and unopened box keyboards It's of course more interesting when it's old keyboards, not just new ones, but maybe if you guys like this sort of video, I can also do it with modern keyboards. But for now, I'm gonna have to call it quits before the camera stops recording again. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.